Hi, we're Lauren and Craig, and we've been travelling the world together since 2008. During the lockdowns, we realised we wouldn't be able to travel abroad for a while, so we decided to buy Helga, a 1989 motorhome, and our plan was to travel all around the UK to the wildest places we could find. So it's finally time to explore our home country, and I think the landscapes and wildlife we witnessed will completely surprise you. In this episode, we're spending our first month travelling around Devon and Cornwall. So we left sunny Sussex and headed west towards Exmoor National Park. On the way, we stopped in the New Forest and checked out these wild ponies. And we proved that Helga is a very small motorhome that can fit in the tiniest little gaps. On our first evening in Exmoor National Park, we went for a little walk at sunset and saw these deer jumping across the hill. We woke up to glorious sunshine and decided to drive to the coast, where we got this incredible view of the sea outside our windows. We didn't waste much time though and headed straight out for a hike, where we found this perfect spot to have lunch. It wasn't as easy as I expected to get onto the ledge, but Craig made it look pretty simple, so I followed him along. We spent a few hours admiring the views along the coast before we headed inland along the farmers' fields. This route led us past so many cute animals. It's lambing season as it's spring, so they were absolutely everywhere, and we even saw this cow that had just given birth. The roads were ridiculously steep in the national park, and we were amazed that Helga made up some of them, although sometimes it was at just 10 miles an hour.
Go on, Helgs!
We attempted to record a cute video of me making tea, but we ended up getting a serious case of the giggles. After a few lovely days in Exmoor, it was time for us to continue along the north coast of Devon. During the spring months in England, the forest floor is covered in these amazing bluebells. We also spotted quite a few snakes slithering through the grass. But most of our time was spent along the coast enjoying these incredible views. This was one of our favourite hikes to the waterfall, where we had some fun taking videos. It was a pretty warm spring, so most of our hikes involved a swim somewhere if we could find a spot. One day we found this lovely spot to park up. We weren't allowed to camp there for the night, but we decided to spend the whole day enjoying the sea view. Craig made a delicious pineapple curry for dinner, and then we had the most amazing sunset. It lasted for hours, and when everyone left after the sun had gone down, it got even better. We checked out a few of Devon's beaches before heading inland to explore the Tors and wild horses. It was really nice just being able to park up and relax in our van while having these horses roaming past us.
Here we have the wild horses in the Serengeti of Bodmin. They scratch their ear to remove ticks and lice, whilst the rest of their body is ravaged by them.
Here we are!
We've been travelling and living in Helga now for a few weeks, and she's proving to be the perfect home so far. One of the struggles we had in Cornwall though was trying to find water.
There she is, back from the local well. In it goes.
We got into a good routine with setting up the bed, so Craig would put it all down into place and I'd cover it with all the bedding, and we'd do the same when we packed it away.
We got takeaway pasties, but we had to eat them. We had to bring them back to Helga as we sat down on the waterfront straight away. And I thought an old friend or someone I knew came up to me and like scruffed the top of my head. It wasn't a friend, it was a seagull launching off my head and attacking Craig's sausage roll.
Now it's time for us to explore Cornwall, and we're searching for the best beaches England has to offer. We had perfect blue skies as we knew a storm was coming, so we rushed to make sure we got the good weather, and boy was it worth it. The beaches were incredible, like way better than I expected, with crystal clear turquoise water. We walked for about 15 kilometres along the coastline, seeing various different beaches along the way. We managed to have 2 full days of pure blue skies enjoying the northern coast of Cornwall. But soon enough the weather turned pretty nasty and we had some big storms rolling in with the craziest wind. The wind was coming straight towards us, so we had a lot of fun pretending to be parachutes and getting blown around. Now it's time to head towards Land's End, which is the most southwesterly point of England. After that nasty storm we had, the weather turned pretty bad and it was just windy every single day. The sea was very impressive though, with huge waves crashing into the shoreline. It was so churned up that it turned white and we joked that the clotted cream factory had exploded nearby. In the end we decided to skip Land's End, as I read online it was pretty busy and didn't sound like our cup of tea, so we continued along the coastline and found a much better hidden gem. We discovered this little cove which was covered in seals. It was amazing. We just stood on the cliffs above and quietly watched them as they came in and out the sea. We managed to do some walks between the rain showers and we were treated to rainbows and beautiful sunsets. To finish up our time in Cornwall, we had one more national park to visit, which was Dartmoor. It had lots of these tours, which are rock formations and wild horses everywhere. We didn't enjoy it as much as Exmoor National Park, but maybe the weather has something to do with it. But we did find this lovely waterfall which we could stand beneath. The ground was so waterlogged from all of the rain we've had recently that it turned into this weird bouncy castle style ground. In our next video we'll be exploring Wales for a month, so in the meantime here's some outtakes.
What have you done?
Exfoliated my heels.
Twat.
Oh shit!